Hi guys and welcome to today's maths lesson. Now what have I got on my board here? What were we doing yesterday? So we've got our part whole model, but do you remember what we were doing with it yesterday? We were using it to subtract, and what happens when we subtract? Can you tell your adult? When we subtract we count backwards, don't we? So the number gets smaller. Well done. So should we have a go? See if we remember how to do subtraction using our part whole model. So I think Sally's subtraction has been up to old tricks again because I have a part missing. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 6 sweets. And now I only have 1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 4 left. So I had 6 and I only have 4 left. So how do we find out how many Sally's subtraction took from me? So we know that we still have 4, so if we circle that in our hole, we can see that we've got 4, so let's take them away from the hole. We've got 4, let's take them away, and we've got 1, 2, we've got 2 left. And how do we write this in an equation? So we know that we had 6, so 6, and we've taken away 4 to see what the other part is. So we've taken away 4 and we found out that we have 2 left. So we've used our part whole model to find out that 6 subtract or take away 4 equals 2. Now should we have a go and see if we can do this one as well? So here in my hole I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 sweets. But Sally's subtraction took 2 of them from me. She took 2 out of my bag and she ate them. So I need to know how many I have left. So she's taken 2. Do you remember what we do? So we know that 2 have gone from our hole. So we take them away. So that's our 2 that we're taking away, that Sally has taken. And we're going to find out what our other part is. So we've got these 2, we've taken them away because we know that that's this part. So let's see how many we have left to work out our other part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 left. So how do we write that in an equation? Can you remember? So we know that we had 13. And we know that Sally took 2 of them away. And we worked out that that leaves us with 11. Well done. I think we're ready to move on to something a little bit more difficult, don't you? Because you're all really clever at this now. So let's move on to something more difficult. So in my part whole model, I have one part, which is 2, and my whole is 7. So I need your help to work out what my other part is. So how do we do it? Can we remember? So we need to take away this part from the whole to work out what this other part is. So if we have 7 and we're subtracting 2, let's write that in an equation. 7 subtract 2. How do we work out what it is? So if you've got a number line, you could use that at home. I'm just going to count on my fingers. So I'm going to count up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're counting down because when we subtract, we make the number smaller. So I'm counting down 2. 1, 2. And how many am I left with? I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm left with 5. So our other part is 5. So what have we worked out? We've worked out that 7 subtract 2 equals 5. Shall we do another one? So this time in my part whole model, my whole is 16 and one of my parts is 3, and I want to work out what this part is. So what do we do? Can you tell your adult what we do to figure out what this other part is? That's right, we take away 3 from the whole to work out what the other part is. So let's see if we can figure this one out. So what do we do when we subtract? We count backwards, don't we? So if we know we've got 16 and we're taking away 3, let's count down from 16. So we're starting on 16, put 16 in your heads. We're starting on 16 and we're going to count down 3. So I'm going to have 3 fingers and I'm going to count them down. So 16, 15, 14, 13. So our other part is going to be 13, isn't it? Because we've taken away 3 from our whole to work out what this part is. So let's write that in an equation. So we've got 16, subtract 3, and what does it equal? 13. Well done. So I've got a bit of a bigger number now in my whole. I have 19. And one of my parts is 5. So we're going to work out what my missing part is here. Can you help me? So we know we've got 19 and we need to take away this part from our whole to work out what this one is, don't we? So if we have 19 in our heads, 19, and how many are we taking away? 5. So if I have 5 fingers to count down, 19 in my head, 19 in your head, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. So our other part must be 14 because we've counted down 5 from 19. So how do we write that in our equation? We write 19 subtract 5 equals 14 because we've taken away 5 from this part to figure out what this one is. So let's just do one more together with some bigger numbers now. So what is my whole? My whole is 20. And what is the part that we know of? We know this part is 8. So can you remember, what do we do to figure out what this part is? We have to take this part away from our whole. So I'm going to take 8 away from 20 to figure out what this part is going to be. So let's have 20 in our heads, 20 in your head, 20's in my head. Is it in yours? So how many are we counting down? We're counting down 8. So I've got 8 fingers up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 fingers up and 20's in my head. So let's start counting down. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. So our other part is 12 because we've taken 8 away from our whole to figure out what our other part is. So let's write it in an equation. 20 subtract 8 equals 12. Well done. Now I've got a worksheet on Google Classroom for you to do at home. And we'd love to see some pictures of your answers. Have fun. Bye.